9:20 on a Monday morning. Time to mind your business with Howard Schwartz from the Connecticut Better Business Bureau. And we're talking about a big subject that affects a lot of you because the dust is still settling from revelations that a private company was able to access information from 50 million Facebook users, chances are maybe you too, to use for political campaigns. Facebook users have reason to be concerned about how it happened and what they can do to protect your personal information. Good morning, Howard.
Good morning, Matt.
Are we hosed here? I'm just going to get right to it because, 50 million people, that is a lot of folks on Facebook. A lot of people are addicted to this thing. And when you find out that your information is being taken by companies that you're not even knowledgeable about, I think it just leads to a whole bunch of problems.
Well, just before we came on the air, Matt, we were discussing that. When is the last time any of us have read terms and conditions? But this is egregious for a whole bunch of reasons. This all began in 2014 with an app called This Is Your Digital Life.
Okay.
And it was created by Cambridge Analytica, which you know is in difficulty right now. Well, and here's the thing.
That's a good word, difficulty.
Yeah.
I think you're in a lot more than difficulty, but yes.
And that being said, so 270,000 people consented to downloading this app. But what they didn't know was the app was going to share their data of their friends. So in other words, if you were a friend of mine on Facebook, whether or not you gave permission, probably didn't, it took your information as well.
And you said two things in that last statement, and we're going to go through right now. One, terms and conditions, because I'm guilty of this too. I don't read them. Not now, not ever. I go hit I agree and that's it. And you are giving up the ghost at that point because, and if you think, well, no, wait a second, I mind my stuff very carefully. Every time it's not just digital life, it's Farmville, it's Candy Crush, it's any of these silly things, who was the rock star born on your day? When you hit accept that app, you could be in trouble.
And yeah, nothing's for free. And really, the currency these days is marketing information. And there was one fellow, now Facebook is allowing you to download the sort of information they're harvesting from you. Some folks are finding telephone calls and records of texts. And for example, I had an email once that I received from somebody. We were talking about Texas, and then I got an email back with advertisements for hotels in Texas.
Which is kind of creepy when you think about it. It's cool that that the technology is there, but what are these companies that are mining your data actually getting? And how dangerous can it be?
We don't know how dangerous it can be. We know the big data breaches, it can be very dangerous. But that's the other thing, Matt, is we don't know how they're using it. But they know where we shop, any discussion that we're having about anything. We know that political views were taken into account.
Absolutely.
So they can be mining our preferences, in this case, for nefarious purposes. And again, when you have 270 million people downloading an app that affects 50 million people, that's a big problem. And
1 in 5 people.
Not new.
Yeah, okay, so where's the solution? Because we've seen in the last couple of days a couple of major companies, Elon Musk amongst them, saying, you know what, I'm getting off Facebook. Is that even an... I hesitate to say, is that even an option? I think Facebook has really just ingratiated itself into the world these days that I don't think we could just walk away from this.
It's not going to be easy. People are deleting their profiles, as you said, but it's worth noting that it can be very time-consuming to do that. And Facebook has said they will hold on to your information in a backup form for several months. As far as the answer is concerned, we know we're being tracked. We know our information is being used. I doubt people will go through 7 pages of terms and conditions.
Right.
So what would be helpful is to have more disclosure, more prominent disclosure, and that we understand these things can happen.
And is that where Mark Zuckerberg's MO is over the next couple of weeks? Because he's admitted that, okay, something needs to be done. Is this the way that they're going to go?
That's probably in the hands of legislators and Facebook users. We know that for the past couple of years anyways, Facebook became uncool because parents were going on there.
All comes down to something that I've said for years, and you and I have discussed this ad nauseum about being responsible. We have a couple of tips that we want to take a look at right now as we go to the full screen. How to avoid social media problems. Go.
Well, we should remove the personal details from your profile. Don't share information like your phone number or home address or social media accounts. Understand the risks is extremely important. We know what they are now. So they're building the profile. That will continue. We should be deleting apps and games that we don't use. That's your choice. But also, you should definitely delete apps that you did not install or don't recognize. Take control of your data to the extent that you can. That means you can edit the permissions that you have in terms of privacy, but that changes all the time. And then you've got the choice of dropping Facebook, and that's going to be a real tough one.
That's going to be an issue. Good tips, but responsibility. Can't stress it enough. Howard, always good to see you.
My pleasure.